When I sat down to learn about this movie right away, I was like, why 6 balloons?
Good question.
Thank you.
Marja?
Abby?
Grae?
It was the movie is based on a real experience, like a reimagining of a real experience. My best friend Sam Hausman is the producer on the movie, and a night like this happened with her and her brother and her 6-month-old niece at the time.
Good God.
And yeah, it was pretty intense. But I don't think it's that uncommon, actually, which is like
Right.
why I was interested in it, because it felt like it was like representative rather than like individualistic. I don't know about the words. It's Monday morning and it's early.
I think the 6, though, when you see it written out, it looks pretty clean with next to balloons.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm
There's
saying?
Did you play
There's
around
that.
with
No,
the
it's the
number?
number of balloons that the actual addict used to
Right.
use at the height
Got
of
it.
his using.
Got it.
Wow. That didn't occur to me. I'm
I don't
glad
think it
asked.
will occur until you, like you.
Unless you're an addict or like you know someone who's an addict, I don't know if that would like be like, oh, I know why, because you use 3 now and 3 later. You're like, I mean, I wouldn't know that either.
I honestly did not know.
that it was
Believe it or
sold in
not,
balloons.
no, like the ins. Yeah, I didn't know the balloon thing. I didn't know what it looked like until I didn't know a lot of the specifics about the how one
there-
would use.
Yeah, and there are a lot of like specifics that like speak to the authenticity. Like one of the big ones was like it's white on the East Coast and it's still black tar on the West Coast.
Oh.
So
So we're
You're
learning
welcome,
a lot
America.
together,
We are.
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah.
Well, and this is a super timely movie as well because I'm driving in my car and I'm hearing about how finally we're paying attention to opioid addiction because it's a huge problem in all kinds of different forms for all kinds of Americans. So it seems like this is a really great time for this to be available for people to watch on Netflix. And I was thinking about that in context of your guys' previous work because people know you for comedies.
Yeah.
But how does that translate into this project? Because I assume that there would be some kind of levity in it, but this is not a comedy.
No. You want to take this?
It's not a comedy. There is a couple moments that I think are really funny. Just sort of like because there's like so much tension in the night, and I think we break it a couple times in a great way. But
Because you have to laugh.
yeah.
I hate watching a drama where there's literally no humor. Because even in the darkest situations, there's always a little. That's just life. I don't know.
And it's in the brother-sister relationship, even in the, like this is a drastic, this night is just like a lot is going on,
Relentless, yeah,
relentless,
yeah.
and I think in the brother-sister relationship, I have an older brother, you have brothers, no sisters, except me, but yeah, you know that tension. I think when the relationship's there, even in this very intense situation, there's levity, but yeah, I personally related a lot to the epidemic part of it. I'm from the suburbs in Philly, and like it's like rampant there. It's been for
Right.
like 15 years, and so when I read the script, it was something I really wanted to be a part of. So, yeah.
And like obviously I did. I did not take heroin, but like I did a ton of research. I read and I watched everything that I could. And like one of the things that really stuck with me was like I was able to talk to an ex-heroin addict throughout the whole process, and he was telling me that like when you're in withdrawal, it feels like the worst fever you've ever had times a million. And the reason it's so hard to just kick it is because you know that you're feeling the worst you've ever felt, and you know that if you just take the tiniest bit, not only will you feel better, you'll feel like the best you've ever felt. And so it's just so hard just like trying to ride out and get through it.
And because addiction is addiction, and so that's something that people can relate to on a lot of different levels, you know, because we all kind of have our thing. Some people, you know, it becomes much more serious and you need treatment, but I can relate to even what you just said.
Yeah.
And I was thinking about like the nature of the movie too is like, it's one of those long nights.
Yeah.
So we've seen this a lot of times in cinema, but this sounds a little bit different. You guys kind of get to know each other really well normally shooting a movie.
Sure.
But also a movie like this seems like there would even be more of that.
Yes and no. I mean, I was miserable. I lost like 20 to 25 pounds.
You did?
Yeah, I don't. Yeah.
I mean, respectfully, Jesus, that's a lot.
It's a big chunk of my body weight.
Yeah, that's like basically your whole leg.
Yeah. I lost a full leg. And so I was the most depressed I've ever been in my life. And so I wasn't really talking to people. And
He is making it sound like he was very kind and very respectful all the time, and he was just very hungry. You know what I mean?
But like
it wasn't.
It wasn't like a super social. Like
No.
I think we met during this project,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, I know I'm gonna be friends with Dave at some point. And it was like we had so much fun when we were shooting, but the nature of the night in question is so like we almost couldn't hang. Like now we're like tight, but we like couldn't hang out like that during the production just because it just wouldn't have helped, I don't think. But and what was going on actually did help, where there was like a distance.
Right. And on top of everything, there was a 3-year-old girl on set. Well, there was twins that were playing one, right? And so like the great thing about a 3-year-old actor is that they're not acting, it's all instinctual. And so when it works for the scene, it's beautiful. But 95% of the time, she's screaming for her mom off camera because she's 3 years old. And I'm sitting there all heroined out, and I'm just like, you gotta stay in this scene with me.
Or she's going, what's wrong with Dave?
Right.
What's wrong with
She-
Dave?
we're-
Dave?
And they have to become
We're
comfortable
supposed to
with
be
us.
super
So
I'm like,
sweet
Daddy,
with each other,
can you
and
say
I look
Daddy?
like a monster.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, and you're like, where's Dave? Dave coming?
Yeah.
Dave. Yeah, so then Dave would like break character and be like, hey, I'm here.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then he would like go back and I'm like, you're doing our thing. And she's like, Dave, oh, Dave. Yeah, when Dave coming?
Yeah, you're like, stop saying
I know, I'm like, can you say dad? Can you say dad? And he's like, no, that's Dave. I'm like, yeah, I know.
This seems like something that's really hard to shake when it's finally done.
well, so I was running all day, every day to lose the weight. And I guess I was running just the slightest bit off, and I screwed up my knee. And so, of course, we finally finish, and I have to go to physical therapy for 3 months to like repair my knee. And so it was just a movie that kept tearing me down. But we're here. I'm feeling good.
Well, but that kind of stuff translates to the screen.
Tagline for the movie that tore us all down.
Yes.
But here we all are,
Yeah.
standing.
What's going to be important is watching all of that culminating in this movie that a lot of people are going to be able to watch.
Right.
Yeah.
Like that. This is important. And I was wondering if there's any movie that you kind of held in your heart while you were making this. Like was there an inspiration or a vibe?
Well, we talked a lot about the relationship between Laura Linney's character and Mark Ruffalo in You Can Count on Me. We actually stole. I mean, he can like sue me if he wants to, but we stole something from. I think I'm in the clear with that movie from 2000. Right?
I don't know.
But we all watched it. We watched it like beforehand. I mean, I watched it while I was writing, and I watched it as we were coming into production, and we noticed that Mark Ruffalo calls her sister man. He's like, what, man? What's up, man? And we were all like, that is so fucking annoying. You should definitely do that. Yeah, and it's just, there's something like very dismissive about it, or like, and it felt right. Where like,
There is a similar, it is, and it is like the enabling older sister kind of vibe.
And that also too is, I mean, obviously like Dave's transformation was like, it was crazy to watch. It was like really brave. I would never ask an actor to do that, and I like specifically did not. We talked about that a lot, but like let hair and makeup do their jobs, and like you can just like find it in yourself. But he like really wanted to go there, and that was really special. But the whole movie is actually from like Abbi's character's perspective, which I also think is something that I was like really trying to find. Because like You Can Count on Me, it's like you're in the enabler's perspective, not the addict. And like you said, like it's hard for me even now to imagine like buying 6 balloons of heroin down on Skid Row in Los Angeles. Like it's like there's a few beats between like me and that, But like this guy, I totally get. Like I totally get the guy that takes somebody. Like I totally get the guy that's like one more time, one more thing for this person because I'm here and I love you.
And it was a thing in my mind, I always, and we talked about this, I always envisioned this was like the 5th or 6th time that he's relapsed. So this is a thing that they've gone through already. And that was such a nuanced part of it where it's like, like, I can't believe this is happening again. Like, we're here again. And I think that is something that happens with anyone that's dealing with this. It is a thing, it is a cyclical.
Sure, and it's a journey.
Yes.
Man, is it a journey? Yeah. Just like this whole thing is a journey. Just like your poor knee is in physical therapy. Oh, what wrong with Dave?
What wrong with Dave?
What wrong with Dave?
Where Dave?
Can we put that on the poster still?
You wake up every morning going to the bathroom. What wrong?
I say that to myself in the mirror.
Oh, what wrong with Dave?
And like help us out with the whole Mark Ruffalo litigious thing, because you guys know you've worked together before.
Oh
So like,
yeah.
do
Now
her a
you see
solid,
me
please.
too. Come on.
I know. Thank you.
Come on.
That's actually my only goal, was just to get a Now You See Me Too
Exactly. Can we
show.
get number 3 going already?
Come on.
Now you 3 me,
Announcement
baby.
here.
So Six Balloons is going to be on Netflix on April 6th, right?
Yes.
Yes.
April 6th? April 6th. There we go. This is where we warmed ourselves by the campfire, and we're just trying to figure out what wrong with Dave.